Hey, what's up guys? This is T-Bone here. Welcome back to another episode of Gemstone Legends. Today we're going to be talking about the changes that have now gone live from the patch. And I did a couple of videos where we talked about, you know, the notes from the patch, what to expect. I did two parts of it, and I was going to do another one to talk about all of the heroes, the changes that apply to them. But I thought that since the change is now live, let's take a look at some of the new changes here, and specifically let's talk about the Witch's Rift, because this is new and I'm sure some of you are probably trying to figure out, well, how do you actually get past it. So I am on Witch Rift 20. I'm going to show you the team that I am currently using, and we will kind of just get a chance to see what the witch's sort of the boss's skills all about, and what are some of the things that you can do to try to get past it. And I'm also going to talk a little bit about some of the heroes that I think are really good post-patch, and you know, since it's a stream, we'll just kind of go over other topics as well. So let's go and take a look at the boss right now. So we're going to do an auto fight, and the team I have here are Sigil and Helica, Sophie, Lurkar, and then finally Akuma. Now, it is a full legendary team, so it is definitely not a team that I expect many to be able to field, but I'm going to talk about sort of the reasons why I brought in these cards, and then we can look at some other alternatives and see what we can do to try and see if we can get you past these levels. So the first thing to note here is that there is Arinus. Okay, Arinus will start the wave by giving you Curse. Okay, and there's two of them, so you're going to get 2 stacks of Curse on you, and so that could become a little bit more of a challenge if you depend on teams that use buffs. And so there are things that you can do to try and get rid of it, and Sigil is definitely going to be key here. Now, what the boss does here is she will start with 100% mana because of the totems. All the totems will do is basically give her mana so she can activate her skill. Whenever she activates a skill and hits you, she's going to give you essentially 2 stacks of death. Now, there's probably a bug here where it's using the icon for snare, but it is death. Okay, you can see now I already have 4 stacks here, and that's because the boss continuously gets mana just by hitting, and if she kills any one of your allies, she's going to gain stack even more. Okay, and it's really dangerous when she basically goes on a chain where she continuously generates more mana. The totems give her more mana, and so you have to be able to survive a couple of hits, and then it's very critical that you dispel those. It's really critical for you to dispel them. Okay, using spell shield or immunity or anything like that isn't actually going to help very much, because the boss also strips you of 2 positive stats. And so a couple of things you can try and do, right? I thought about potentially adding some more resistance to the boss, but that's actually going to be a little difficult to balance as well, because you need really high resistance to ensure that you do not get hit by those stats, and then that comes at a sacrifice of your damage. And so let's take a look at the breakdown of the team here, and then we'll kind of take a look and see what are some of the things you can do. So this is a HP armor, so even though it's got decent stats here, I got attack and health, I'm really looking for, you know, critical speed, critical rate, critical damage, and maybe some speed here. And since this is not a percentage based stat armor, I'm just gonna go ahead and sell it. I'm at the point right now where I am basically full, right? I'm pretty much full with my inventory almost all the time, and so I have to be very critical about what I keep. So let's take a look at the breakdown of this team, right? So Sophia is in here because she does defense down. Okay, so I want to be able to deal as much damage as I can to the boss, and so defensive down is one of the best things you can do to ensure you can get more damage there. All right, and one thing to see here too, I put on a set, so let's go ahead and show you. So for Sophia, I tried out this set, which is Untouchable. So what Untouchable does is it grants you immunity at the beginning of the wave for three turns. If I put another set on it, then I would get 3 additional turns. So basically, if I put all 6 Untouchables, I would get 9 turns of immunity, which will be pretty good, except the boss actually will, dispel it, so it doesn't really actually matter when you get to the end stage. But I decided to give it a shot. I thought that was actually not too bad, and it's a good set to use for when you go up against enemies that have a lot of debuffs, and so that actually really helps. But anyway, Sophia is one that I use for decreased defense, and there are other heroes that can do the same thing as well for decreased defense. And so what I'm doing right now is I'm just going to take a look at my Discord. Give me 1 second here. Skill decreased defense. And so some of the other heroes that do this, let's take a look, right? From rare heroes, for example. So if we were to go ahead and filter by rarity, and we're going to go to rare. So there are, I don't know if I have them. So there's Orgak, Nora, Alton, right? Alton is an obvious one, but you wouldn't use Alton because Alton is actually a blue hero. You can't use it against green for level 20, but you can use it against a red enemy. Okay, Nora is another one that is going to give defense down as well, and I think I have her in storage. So Nora is another one that with her ability, she's a single she attacks a single boss, and so you could use her against a red boss, and you can do defensive down. So she's actually going to be really good. And what we can do here is we can probably do sort of like a lower level, and we can use some rare teams and see if we can build a team that would work. But what I need to do is I need to go ahead and remove her from storage, and then I need to put something on her. So what would I do? So I need to have some accuracy on her, right? So she's gonna need some accuracy. Do I have attack here? Let's see. So I have attack on her because she also deals damage. But let's go ahead and put in something for accuracy and see what I've got here. Something that gives me maybe accuracy, and maybe I want a little bit of health as well, right? Because I want her to survive, because right now she doesn't have very high health. And so I can do something like this. This one gives me 18% health, 8 speed, 9 critical damage. Overall, not too bad. And since it is still free artifact equipment day, I can change this up if I wanted to. All right, so let's do that. So what we'll do is we need to have somebody that can give you defense down. You need somebody that can give you dispel. Okay, so you need a dispel, and I think the best one to go for is probably to get Guinevere. You should be focusing on looking at getting Guinevere. Getting Guinevere as quickly as you can. If you're starting out, you want to fuse Guinevere and you want to fuse Streetbog. And so let's see, maybe level 14. Let's see if we can do 14. Okay, so let's go ahead and clear all these, because I don't expect people to have Sigil, for example, but you could have Guinevere. And if we wanted to filter by rarity, right? So if we want like more of the rare heroes, I already mentioned that we're going to equip Nora. So Nora is going to be the one that's going to give you defense down. And then you also need attackers. You need attackers, so Xena is going to be a good option. And what I like to do is you can also do Alton. Okay, Alton is a good area of effect damage dealer. I just want to make sure he has all his. I think I took something from Xena, so I need to make sure I bring it back. And it'll be good to have a healer as well. Okay, so that if you get damaged, you can heal yourself. There's a couple of things you can do here too. In terms of heals, so Grima is a healer. Okay, so she doesn't really heal. She will resurrect. Okay, so she'll resurrect an ally with 8,000 health. Not like great, but she will be there to resurrect if you need to. So she's not a healer. Go ahead and take a look at our storage, and let's filter. And let's see if we have any rare heroes that can heal. One that I'm looking at, Unfortunately, that I can't really use the Santos because Santos does restore health, but he's a green hero, so it's not going to work against red. We can use Varvas though. Varvin. Varvin actually heals, and you can see I've been sort of taking away artifacts from some of my heroes here. So let's go ahead and put that back on her. So let's go ahead and add her to remove her from storage, and then let's put on an equipment. So it looks like, I think if I remember correctly, I had the giant set on her, and so let's go ahead and put on a giant set if we can. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the giant set, and I want it to be health based if I can, because I want her to have as much health as possible. And right now I think it's mostly defense, and I do have one that's health focused. She doesn't actually need to do any damage, she's really there to heal, and so you want to keep her alive, and this is going to be a 1. And let's just go ahead and upgrade a little bit. Maybe we can just like upgrade it to, I don't know, I think we'll upgrade it to level 12. Hopefully it's not going to take too long. I have 1.5 million in gold. Gold has been something that I've been running low on because of the market changes. I will show you the market change. It is good, really, really good change, but at the same time, it is super expensive now because of all the things I want to buy. And so, okay, so we are up to 12, so let's just go ahead and equip hers, right? So what I have here with this set is I'm also gaining additional 20% health. I could also do the same thing with life, and I can even get more actually, but I think this is what I had, and so we'll go with that. 29,000 health, that's not too bad. So now let's go back to level 14, and we're going to put in Varvin, and I do need to also equip Xena as well, so I don't want to forget to do that. So let's go ahead and put Varvin. And then let's go back now, put the equipment on Xena. So for Xena, it's going to be all about attack, right? So it's all attack, and I put critical damage as well. So let's go ahead and put in 1 for attack here. Let's see if I have any 6-star attack artifacts here, and I do. I don't have good critical rate. This one's okay, so let's just equip this for now, just so that I have something for attack. And if I look at her stats, 86%, that's what I need. I just need to get to 85% higher, and a little bit low on the health, but that's kind of what she's there for. All right, so now let's go ahead, let's go back to Witch's Rift, and then let's see at 14 with this setup, I'm going to use speed as a leader as well, because the boss, let's see her stats. Her speed is at 270. If you can get your speed higher than hers, then you can avoid getting hit with multiple stacks of death if possible. But really, you just want to try and go as fast as you can. We can, in this particular case, I don't have any other options anyway, because I don't have any other heroes with leader option. But let's take a look and see. I think in this case we should be good to go, because these Altons should be able to deal quite a bit of damage to these waves, and so we should be able to clear them relatively easily. And my Nora is at level 50. The thing is, my Xena and my Alton are both at level 60, so they will deal higher amount of damage. And so if you're using the same heroes at 50 against this, and you find yourself having a hard time, it could just be a sort of a level difference. And you can see, because of my the fact that I'm on level 60 means that I am going to be able to deal a lot more damage to the boss. But you can see here, right now, the benefit of having Guinevere is that she's going to heal you as well. You can just see how much damage Xena is able to deal actually, right? So 32,000 at level 14. The boss health isn't really as high, and so this is actually not a bad team to use. And let's take a look here. I'm actually not going to keep a lot of the 5-star rares at this point. So is level 14 a good enough level to go with? I would say it is the first level in which you're going to get a 6-star potential 6-star artifact, right? And so this is sort of like the minimum level you want to try to aim for, right? And so I would say if you're kind of in the mid game where you can't get to 20, try to get to 14. Right, 14 is going to be your best bet. And with 14, like let's change this up, right? So maybe you don't have Guinevere. Okay, I still think that having some sort of heal is going to be very good, but there is a hero that I think I put in storage that is actually also really good. I don't have her anymore, so there is a hero that I wanted to show you. I think she's in Iron Clan. No, she's not in Iron Clan. She's going to be here. Bruxa. Bruxa is going to be a really good hero to use because she at max level will restore 85 mana to an ally. So if you are ever finding yourself in a situation where you are really lacking on mana, Bruxa is actually going to be really good to use, and she has insane mana gain. Okay, so she can go really fast. She has really high resistance. So she will actually, be able to, resist a lot of the hits. So if you build a little bit of resistance, she's going to, be immune a lot of times, and she will be a really good mana generator. But I don't have her right now, so I think something we could do instead. Let's change this up a little bit. Again, if we wanted to take a look at 14. We take away Guinevere, then who else will we be able to bring here? So we want some healing if possible, and you want to stay away from green, obviously. So we already have blue for heal. We have Varvin for healing, and so in this case, you could look for ways to increase damage, for example. So Ong is actually a really good option, because what he does is he also restores mana and he increases critical damage. Okay, so here's an option where you can use Ong, and you're going to be able to provide additional mana and make your heroes hit harder. It's just that this particular setup, there is no leader bonus, and so we can give this a try and see how this goes. Right? There's no leader bonus, but you can sort of see what we're gonna get here. So we're gonna use Ong's ability. Okay, so everybody gets a little bit of mana, and they all get additional critical damage. All right, and for Xena, who is going to be able to get critical damage, you can see her damage is going to go even higher because now she has increased attack and also increased critical damage. So she's already at like 199% damage, and it just goes up to, what is it now? 239% for critical damage. So she'll be able to deal really good damage here. Now this is where we're going to see what's going to happen here. If you don't have a Dispeller and the boss goes, the challenge is going to be, if you can't take out your boss in a couple of turns, you're going to see what happens here. In one more turn later, I'm going to lose about 50% of my health. Okay, and so it is really critical to be able to deal enough damage to the boss, which Xena was able to do, because I don't think I will be able to last another couple of turns with this. All right. And Varvin, what's nice about her is that she has a chance to double her heal based on their max HP, and so her max HP, so you'll be able to heal quite a bit. So you want to put as much health on her as you can. That's what's going to help. All right. So I think the critical keys for success here is to make sure you have damage dealer and something for defense down, and if possible, mana generation so that you can make your hero go faster. Another option is to put Street Block in here as well. Street Block can also be a really good option because your hero will then get the boost of speed up, and also you get free mana too. So here's another example where I'm going to put in Street Block. Now I can put him as a leader, and let's see the difference here. Right, so everyone's going to go a little bit faster just because you have a leader that can provide speed up and also increase speed, and then also with his skills you can potentially gain 20 mana every turn. His passive ability also increases your mana at the beginning of a wave, so that if you were kind of just like a little short on getting max mana, you're going to be able to gain that at the beginning of the wave. So that's kind of a nice thing, right? So here we have Alton and also Nora dealing damage there, and even Streetblock is able to deal pretty good damage there, right? And I think what we can do now after this, Xena is going to get full mana, and we actually take it out pretty quickly here. So we were able to finish this in 50 seconds, right? And in terms of the what you can potentially get, you're going to be able to get the Untouchable set and also the Vampire set. I actually really want to try the Vampire set. I want to actually get this, and what you can do with this, because like every time you deal damage, you get 35% of that damage back as health, and so that will really allow, if you have like a sort of like a bruiser type, like a tank that can deal damage, well, what you can do is you can allow yourself to constantly get healed if you can go quickly enough. All right, and so I think that is something that you can I really want to try out, and if I can, then I'm going to show you how that works. Pandita, welcome to the stream here. Thanks for joining me here. And then so the market changes. Okay, so in the market now, there are a lot of different things that you'll see in the market now. You can actually get some pretty decent gloves with like the new sets. So here's a cover set, for example. If you get this, you're going to get Protective Shield for 3 turns. And I got a correction here. So the cover set, if you do 6 pieces of the cover set, what you're going to get is 30% of Protective Shield based on 30% of your health for 9 turns. So the way these work now is you're going to get additional turns for every additional set that you get, and you're going to see all these potion changes here. And if you take a look in the shop, you can also potentially buy these shards now for 500,000 gold. Okay, 500,000 gold for 5 platinum scroll shards, which, if you farm a lot, this is actually a pretty good deal, because what you can get is essentially, every time you farm in 500,000 gold, you buy 5 shards. After 20 of these, you get a free platinum scroll. Okay, so you can actually, just from farming, you'll be able to get yourself one. So I'm gonna actually have to buy it, even though I only have 1.4 million. But like, it's just kind of like, if you farm a lot and you just focus on buying the platinum shards, you're going to be able to build up the platinum scrolls for events, right? Without actually buying the scrolls and without waiting a whole month for it. So like, overall, this is going to be a faster way to get your platinum scrolls. So I actually think it's kind of nice. But at the same time, let's see if I can roll until I get one. Okay, so here's a 5-star, but sometimes I'll see like a 6-star legendary artifact, which costs, I think, about 1 million or something like that. Let's see if I see one. I see a 5-star one, and this one is 440. Right, and this is actually a decent one. Right, it's 5 stars, but it does give me critical rate and it gives me critical damage. And because it's an epic one, I have 3 rolls for it. And this one is a bandit one, where if you equip 4 of them, you can remove 2 positive effects. It's gonna be really good against Haron. Right, so if you can get your accuracy high enough, you can actually use this against. Do I spend 400,000 on this shield here? Given that it, so where can I get the bandit? I haven't farmed on Phoenix Rift, so technically I could probably I probably don't need to spend my 400,000 on it. This is why I'm saying it's super expensive, right? Like, it just makes me want to get something when I see something that has like decent substats already. It will depend on the role, but this could be useful. So I'm going to go and buy it. 500,000 remaining. I'm going to be farming on campaign. All right. So the best way to get your gold back is to either farm campaign or just farm on Rift and just sell everything that is 5 stars and below. But I wanted to see if I can get a really high level, like, legendary artifact, so I can show you how much that costs. Oh, here's a potion. Potions are so rare now. That's the thing. Because of the new potions that have been added in here, the overall sort of, everything has sort of been diluted a little bit. Like, things like apples, a little bit hard to buy. And potions are harder to find, but they're also more expensive now. If I can show you. Now I'm not seeing anymore. Earlier I was getting all kinds of 6-star artifacts, and I spent a ton of gold on them. Here's another 5-star one. I should be able to see a 6-star one, but I was hoping, you know, I don't want to spend too much of my gems just to scroll here. But you can see now, like, oh, here's another 500,000, so I'm gonna have to farm for that, so I'm gonna stop. I don't want to scroll away from it. But anyways, 6 stars are potentially there. But then in terms of the potions, like, where can I get more information on potions in here? I wanted to sort of show you what's available. So maybe what I can do is we can go into fight and we can take a look at the potions here. So some of the really, like, you can see how much there is, but the problem I'm seeing here is that the potions, you can only bring like a few of them in, and they changed it. Okay, they fixed it. Before, the toxic vial, for example, you can only bring 3 or 2, and that was just like unbelievable because of, I think it was a bug and I couldn't believe it, but they fixed it. However, a lot of these newer potions, you can still only bring a maximum of 3 for the leech vial and death potion, things like that. So these are all potions that we all got for free. The thing I really wanted to try was the leech vial, but there's only 3 of them. I would have really liked to do more. Burning vial, this one is going to be super key for me anyways, for the green boss. If you are a Lurkar user, bring a burning vial so that you could so you can do a ton of damage. And then if you put on the vampire set, you probably won't need the health potion either. So if you put, you know, a vampire set, you bring yourself a burning vial, and the nice thing about the burning vial is you can bring 8 of them and you inflict burn for 2 turns, or if you bring the burning potion, you can burn for 3 turns. Okay, and so I would actually argue that burning elixir is probably going to be the best deal here, because you can inflict burn for 4 turns, assuming that you can keep the green boss not activating his skills for 4 turns. You're going to be able to benefit from this by just, you know, using this, using 6 of these pots with a couple of Lurkar's abilities. You're going to deal some really massive damage with that, and so I think that that is actually a pretty good deal. So good thing that they changed this. This was set at like 2 or 3 before, and they just fixed it yesterday or today, so I'm glad to see that. So those are sort of the things I talked about. And then if we go back to the Rift, I mentioned to you that, you know, I'm using this team, and I really wanted to talk about Helica because Helica has gone really strong post patch. Okay, so this is my team right now. I have Sophia, then I have Lurkar and Akuma. Okay, so Helica. Why is Helica really good now? Take a look at her skill. I actually used all of my legendary tomes on her because she can restore 60% of health, okay, and 60% mana to your ally. So if we go back and we take a look at a fight, like I've seen this happen a lot, where because I have a combination of Sigil and Helica, what happens is oftentimes when my Sigil is low on health, Helica will heal up Sigil and also heal up her mana, and then she's going to use her special ability twice and cleanse everything that I have, and then also get mana for all of my other heroes so they can attack. It is actually pretty amazing to see. So let's see if we can get into a situation. I've sort of seen, like, when I fought at level 20 multiple times, sometimes it just gets really scary. Like my team like almost like gets wiped out. And you can see here Sophia has the protective protective set, so that she has immunity at the beginning of every wave, so she doesn't get impacted by any negative stats. This is going to be really critical for Arena or for Guild Wars, by the way, because a lot of people, they would run, like, for example, Jasper, who basically gives you or Jester at the beginning of the wave. Well, with this, you basically don't have to worry about it, okay, because you will always be immune. It's kind of having, it's like having Najar or Dobrinka on your team, she basically does the same thing here. So we're actually able to take out the, a lot of the health for the boss here, but you can see how much she's going to deal. Like she's going, if she had gone one more time, she would definitely be able to like stack up the attack here. It didn't happen this time, but let's see. Ooh, nice. Not as nice. All right, let's try one more time. I want to see if I can get myself in a situation where the boss just keeps going, and that will happen if Sigil doesn't get her mana early enough. That's when the situation gets kind of dicey. And so having a Dispeller is going to be really critical. So you want to look for Dispellers, and that's going to be, we can look at some other options, but right now the ones I can think of, is Guinevere, and there is also I forget his name. We'll take a look later, but having a Dispeller is going to be really useful. DM Cookie Man, not sure what you said here, but welcome to the stream as well. So after this one, let's take a look at some other team options. Let's just kind of check them out. But I kind of want to, I'm actually really enjoying playing on the Witch Rift. It's just very different, and well, it's new, right? But I'm actively trying to collect the vampire set, and so I really want to see if I can get it in my hands. All right, so let's see. If Sophia lands the decreased defense, then it makes the fight a lot easier. That's the other thing. If I don't land decreased defense, it generally makes the fight a little bit harder, and I have a harder time trying to get through. So you can see what's going to happen here is we're going to get an additional attack here, and then we get this time 3 stacks, and then Sigil is going to go ahead and cleanse, and then immediately I give 60% mana back to the Sigil. But you can see that the boss basically just continuously kind of fires up. But at this point, because I have a lot of mana generation through Helica and also through Sigil, it makes this fight a lot easier. Okay, so that's why having Helica on the team, if you have her, she used to be, people don't used to not like her as much, but she's really strong now post the patch. I actually really like her, and I have a few copies of her, so I'm going to be able to I'm definitely going to level another copy of her so that I can see what happens when I have 2 side by side. You wish I stuck with this game? Oh, I mean, you can always come back. It's what's nice about this is you can wherever you are, you can always build yourself up again. All right, so some of the other cards I was looking at, where is he? I couldn't remember his name, but it's going to be a yellow hero. Benedict. Okay, so Benedict also removes 1 negative status, and what I want to take a look and see is if he will actually remove more than 1. I think he is in the Empire. No, he's not in the Empire. He is in the Empire. So let's see what happens in his max skill. Just 1 negative stats. Yeah, so he removes 1, but there's a lot of heroes that can remove negative stats, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the skills on my Discord again. So it's going to be remove negative status, and let's see. So we've got Benedict. Raiko is another one, and I think he is. I'm looking at rare heroes right now. Raiko is, where is he? He's a tank warden, and he also cleanses. He removes 1 negative stats from all allies. These are rare heroes that will help. In terms of the red ones, there is a red epic. So if you look at the red epic, Arma is going to be a really good option for you, and she's going to be in the Iron Clan. So Arma she'll remove 2 negative stats from all allies, and has a 66% chance, if you have her max level, to remove 1 additional. So she's almost like Sigil, and she's red, and so she's going to survive. She's going to be able to deal more damage to the boss as well. You want more red heroes, and what she does is she will also increase her resistance as well. So if there's more, she'll have less likelihood of getting impacted by the negative stats, and she's going to be really critical, really useful. Another one is going to be Vinka. Vinka is another one that also does Where's Vinka? Vinka is... I think is she here? Which one's Vinka again? There it is. Vinka is another red healer that also cleanses. So you can see removes 2 negative stats from one ally. Okay, but I think there's a passive ability that also removes from... Oh, when she dies, she'll also remove from all allies. But Vinka is going to be a little bit less effective than Arma. Arma is going to be really, really good. There's other ones. I think there is... We can go... I'm just going to show you all the heroes that you could potentially look at for Dispelling. Dispelling is going to be really important. Awadis is going to be a neutral hero that's going to be able to... This one's actually pretty awesome. Removes 1 negative stat, okay? But when he dies, at max level, he's going to restore 80 mana to all the other allies, okay? 80 mana to all allies, and he's going to also restore 50 mana at the beginning of his turn. So he's really going to be able to help out as well. So Awad is also going to be a decent option, especially if you go up against like a blue hero or something. But you kind of, you know, he's going to passively give you mana, which is really good. Diana is going to be good for one ally. Percival gives it for himself. I'm trying to see other ones. Oh, Arbor is one. So that's going to be the Forest Keepers. So Arbor is another hero that will remove 2 negative stats from all allies. So these are like examples of heroes that you can search for. If you go into my Discord server, you can look up the heroes that have negative, that remove negative spell. These are some of the sort of options here, and obviously you saw me use Guinevere and Sigil. Sigil is going to be really good because of the mana generation, but Arbor is also going to be really good, and what he does is he'll heal himself as well, and so he'll continuously be able to he'll be able to survive a little bit more, and he'll be able to help you out. So depending on who, like, you know, what level you're going for, definitely want to make sure that you bring in somebody that will take away the negative stats. That's what's going to really help you survive the Witch's Rift. Okay, so somebody that can remove, and then somebody that can heal, but then you need to bring high damage dealers if possible, and having a defensive down is going to be probably the best combination for you. Okay, and so like I said, 14 is going to be the level 14 should be the level that you try and focus on. And it's interesting, this one, there's a bug here. Instead of saying battle 19, it says Witch's Rift. You see that? Battle 18, Witch's Rift, battle 20. I'm probably gonna have to report that. But battle 14 is the minimum that I think you should go with, and you can go with the setup that I just talked about. Plenty of heroes that remove negative stats, and I think you should be good with that. So another one I wanted to do while I'm here on the stream, I just gonna quickly want to show a hero here, and I think what I'll do is 18 gonna be too hard though? Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to show you this hero that I actually really like, Frank. So I didn't get a chance to show you Frank. So what Frank does is he, at max level, he deals a ton of damage as well, and there's a chance that he will be able to use his ability twice. At max level, it's 50%, but if he is affected by bleed, burn, or poison, then it'll be max. So like, if you paired him with Sven, and Sven dies, gives him a bleed, you're going to be able to use his ability twice as a guarantee, but that's probably not what you're going to focus on. So let's go ahead and take a look here. We're going to go up against the Dark Boss. At level 18, and I'm going to be using Frank here. So we're going to see how much damage he'll be able to do here. Okay. Now the thing with Helica is if she doesn't heal, she doesn't generate mana. Now let's take a look and see if Frank is going to use his skill. So he'll be able to use the skill, 19,000 damage, and there you go. He used his skill twice. I actually really like his ability. And you can see he dealt more damage than Goldmere did, okay? And I put a ton of boost on Goldmere's ability and his, you know, I put a ton on his stats. And so, you know, this is where, because Frank deals damage based on a lot of his health percentage, and also he ignores 40% defense, he can really deal a ton of damage there. Is it 40%? No, he ignores 30%. It's still really, really good, right? All right, so let's take a look and see. You know what I could do is I could actually just go ahead and heal up Frank, actually, so I can give him some mana as well. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and heal up Frank, okay, and then go ahead and see if I could get him to use the skill, okay, and see if I can use it twice. 26,000 twice for a total of over 52,000 damage against the dark boss here. So this also worked okay, but again, I'm using Sigil and Helica combination, which I find is really strong in this rift. Probably going to be better ones, but I found that it's just working super well. You could probably use that combination in Guild Wars as well. Helica is going to become really difficult to deal with, as you'll probably see. So like I really like Frank, right? And like, you know, you just saw him being used in the rift. And how did I build him is the question. Where is he? Where did he go? I focus on just health, right? So you can see health, and critical damage, okay? Because I was able to get enough critical rating from my other artifacts that I was able to just say focus on critical damage, because you want to make sure that you can deal enough of the damage output. So critical rate 86%, just above the bare minimum of 85%, and then 132 critical damage. Health is at 150. Basically, health is at 51,000, but I still have more awakening I can do. So awakening at 6 stars is going to be additional 20% health and additional 5% health when I go to 5 stars. So I can actually add 25% more health to Frank, and he's going to deal more damage because he deals damage based on 40% of his max health. All right, quite insane. We have. I don't think there's another hero that deals that much damage based on health, and so he can really do a lot. And because he potentially can do it twice, and he ignores defense, he really is quite a force to reckon with. So I like Frank. I think he's a really strong light attacker, and so I'm looking forward to using him against Haran. And you know, with him, I'm probably going to try and do a combination of the following, right? I'm going to try and use Bandit set for a couple of my heroes to take away positive effects, and then I'm going to put Vampirism on Frank so that I can continuously heal him up, okay? And I think that's going to make it a lot easier when you deal with Haran, for example. So like, these are things I'm going to try out, and then if I'm successful with it, then I'll share my findings and my results with you all. So anyways, that is pretty much all I wanted to show. I didn't really have anything specific, but I just kind of wanted to go through the Rift a little bit, show you what it's about, show you some of the teams that you can try and use, and talk about some of the other heroes as well. But I will have my final sort of like update just to kind of show you like what are all the changes, and I will probably highlight the ones I think are the best out of the changes for the heroes. And so keep an eye out for that. And so I wanted to say thanks to everybody for joining me on the stream here. Let me know in the comments below what other information you'd like to know about. What content would you like to see for Gemstone Legends? What do you like to see me focus on more? Definitely looking for your feedback and thoughts on this. All right, so that's going to be it for me for today.